And we're back with another edition of Thompson's Comic Corner. And we are recorded and unedited and having fun. So every show I bring in a different co-host and I just spin the wheel and today it landed on Chad Smith.
Hey,
How are
hey.
you doing today, brother?
Oh, I'm all in, buddy. I am all freaking in. Oh no, wait, I'm next level in
Yeah,
is
we're
what I
gonna take it
am.
to the next level. Yeah, so today we are going to review four of the next level um, DC All-In's second phase. And the
Yeah,
four
spitting
titles,
out of DCKO. Like this is their
yeah,
next big thing.
yeah. So you got Lobo, you got Batwoman, Deathstroke, and we threw in Firestorm because we'll tell you why, but it's worth it. The first wave were those three books. They all came out the same week, which is probably about a month ago at this time. So, um, the way that we're gonna do it, like review. Normally we do a 5-star review on here, but we're just gonna review on these books on whether they're worth, like in our opinions, to keep pulling for us. So that's what we're gonna do. Sounds like
There
it's more high stakes.
there you go. And it's I will say too, I am happy that DC is putting out books that aren't just Batman and Superman. Like these are some characters that don't always get a ton of play. And so I'm happy to see Firestorm have a book out there. It's exciting to see Lobo. Like it's the 90s again to see Lobo have a book. And
Well, I can tell you this, Firestorm was not on my bingo card to be as top notch as it is. And that's true. If you would have told me that Firestorm was probably going to be my favorite out of this, I would have told you you're crazy. Because it's a character I don't really know much about.
yeah. And like my whole deal with Firestorm is I grew up in the 80s, and so I had the Firestorm Superpowers toy Super Friends. And I his costume is so goofy, but I love it. I love it so much. But anytime there's a Firestorm book, I'm like, oh, I'll read a couple issues. Like, all right, that's enough Firestorm. But I was
Well,
excited. He's getting a new one. I was happy to dig into this guy.
right. And if I'm not mistaken, it's only a 6-issue mini.
Correct.
So, and I'm a firm believer that the modern comic book style is you knock it out of the park with issue one, you take it slow, two, three, you give a little bit more action in four, and then you try to finish it out with bangers in five and six. Well, I can tell you right now, Firestorm started off heated up in issue
Yeah.
one. Like it really makes you. That's where we'll start. We'll start with Firestorm.
All right.
So go ahead and tell us you can tell us the tandem that is the creators of Firestorm.
Okay, so it's written by Jeff Lemire with art by Rafael De La Torre, colors by Marcelo Maiolo and a bunch of other folks on this as well. But yeah,
Well,
dude, this issue
it,
it starts off with him being the bad guy. It's like what?
which so I don't want to spoil too much on this book because like the let's just say that he's not all together, if that makes
Literally.
sense. Literally. So it's a lot of fun to see this entity on its own trying to figure out what is like his surroundings and what's going on. And that's pretty much what you follow.
Yeah, if I can try to spoil just a little bit, but not too much. Like the whole gimmick with Firestorm has always been, it's Ronnie Raymond and Professor Stein, and they're inside this Firestorm Matrix, and they're always, back and forth. But now the Firestorm Matrix itself has split out and become its own thing, and it's almost like Doctor Manhattan esque, rearranging molecules and stuff. And like I said, he's not a good guy. The Firestorm
No,
Matrix thing, not a good guy.
not at all. And he don't try to, he don't care, he doesn't understand at first. And then he realizes like how powerful he really is.
Oh
And
yeah,
like it's scary to think about how powerful and like in the wrong hands what could happen with this character. And that's what you're introduced to in this issue. And it's so badass. Like it just looks so cool.
It does. There's that costume, and then they bring in the ex girlfriend, and they're like, "Could you calm him down?" And she tries, and it's like, "No, that's he's not there." And so, the mystery. Like this first issue does such a great job of being like, "All right, where is this going to go next? What the heck is going on? How is this happening?" And like, what's going on with Ronnie Raymond? What's going on with Professor Stein? What's going on with the Firestorm Doctor Manhattan esque? And then you get the what's his girlfriend? Not Flamebird. Uh,
Oh,
oh, it's gonna bother me.
I didn't know who she was. So I'm no help. Not off the top of my head. I didn't know who she was, but I thought her costume, like her character design was pretty sick.
Oh yeah,
So I'm a
yeah. No,
sucker for a really good character design, so I can't complain.
that's it. And once again, like Firestorm's costume for me, like one, it's so ridiculous with those puffy sleeves, but his head is on fire. How cool is that?
Yeah, so my most um exposure to the character Firestorm is the Injustice video games, and he's
Okay,
badass in the video game. So just saying.
yeah, man, it's such a great look, such a great look. And oh, it's Firehawk. It's the name of the girlfriend. Um,
That makes sense.
but yeah, it's this story. Of all the ones we're going to talk about today, like this one was the one where it's like from page one, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then you dig it even deeper, and then you see that some of the emotional stakes involved, and then you get into more of the mystery, and it's like Jeff Lemire's doing it right here. They've got me hooked on this one. Sign me up
I
for
can,
all six.
yeah, I can tell you. So, um, all right, so we can tell you right now that me and Chad both agree we're pulling this.
Oh yeah,
So, so we'll transition into what I believe is the second best book, and that's from my boy Tony Fleece, Deathstroke the Terminator. Now, again, this is another character that I don't have really any exposure to. And if you go back, this is a selfless plug right here. If you go back to the interview that me and Andy did with Tony, I asked him if we needed to know anything, like we had to read like the previous Terminator story arc from the 90s or anything from the 2000s, like if we needed to read anything to understand what's going on. He told me absolutely not. So I said, I'm in. I'm all in to take it to the next level. So I read it, and I will tell you this: the art is beautiful. I really like the art in this book.
by
I like Tony's
Carmine
storytelling.
DiGomenico, by the way. Or
Yeah, I like Tony's storytelling, but I really don't know if I give a shit about Deathstroke. Like, I'm not sure. It's kind of confusing in the story because so he's talking to his like I don't even know how to put it. Like it's the I don't even know how to put it. We're just gonna put it his partner Wintergreen.
yeah, it's Alfred. It's
Yeah,
his Alfred.
you know what? I was gonna say that, but then I was like, but no, it's 100% his Alfred. And he's talking to him, and like he's telling him like what's going on in the mission, and then he's like wanting him to rekindle the relationship with his daughter and all this. And then so I didn't want to spoil Firestorm, but we're gonna spoil this because I need you to make sense of this. Wintergreen is behind a door that he's trying to get into. Like he's hired for this job and he's trying to get into this building. Well, he does get into the building and cut and dry because we need to talk about this. Wintergreen's dead
Right?
at a desk in the building. So who the fuck is he talking to?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Was it Wintergreen the whole
So
time? Obviously not because he's been dead.
so I didn't put it together that he had been dead for some time. I just assumed, oh, Wintergreen is dead again because they do this all the time.
Yeah, but I'm so confused. Like, was he dead before this? Was he dead? Like, was he not dead? Was he actually talking to him? And then somebody talks to Deathstroke on the ear set thing, and he's like, Wintergreen? And it's like, no, dude, obviously not. He's fucking dead. So who is it? I
Yeah,
need
well,
to know. And I
that's
read
all.
issue 2, and I don't believe it tells me. I don't remember.
No, and this is a classic setup where you have Deathstroke, who's always been portrayed as, the super competent assassin guy. And what I like about this book is Tony Fleece is not trying to make him into, some heroic anti-hero, for people to look up to. Like, no, he's still a badass assassin guy. But what they do is they turn him into that wounded animal and they start taking everything away bit by bit. They take out his guy in the chair. They take out, all of his money and all of his resources. And then he has to pick up the pieces from there. Um, and so I'm all for it, dude. There's somebody behind the scenes that's been manipulating things, manipulating, his best friend, the one, one of the few people that he trusted. Either he's involved or they were using him to set Slade up, but it's like everything is wrong, and now the hunter is the hunted, and
Right.
yeah, I'm
And
I'm here for it, dude.
yeah, and like, there's so many questions I need answered. And I feel like Tony, as a writer, is really good at leading you on and making you want to read the next issue. Take his Feral series, for instance. I'll plug Tony any chance I can. And I've actually this week of recording, I recommended Feral to one of my like really good high school buddies that I met at the comic book store for the first time in like 10 years.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, he asked me for references. He was like, "What books are good?" And I was like, "Feral." But um, every episode, Jesus, every issue, it's like there's a cliffhanger, and it's like I need to know what is going on, and you need to tell me. And like my first instinct is, and Tony's really good at this, is I always read the situation wrong, and he pulls the wool over my eyes. It happens every time. Like I'm thinking that like his daughter has something to do with this just for no reason. I don't know why. I don't know why
Right?
she would. But why the fuck would they talk about her? Like why would Wintergreen bring her up in the middle of
Yeah. What is
this
it?
whole thing?
Chekhov's gun or whatever. You're gonna put her in the first act. She has to show up sometime later on.
Right. And like you get the badass scene, which in the other books that we're going to talk about in Lobo and Batwoman, if you read the last couple issue or a couple pages of the issues, they put this scene as like a preview, which is sick. They should have saved this for like, but I get it why, because it's badass. There's a scene where he puts like all this like explosive shit like in a an ambulance and rigs it to where it drives through into the people, the bad guys, and it is sick. It is a good like 3 page build up, and he's just talking calmly while he's doing it, and it's badass.
It is. It's Deathstroke being badass, and I picked up the second issue on this one as well. And I agree with Tony Fleeks, man. The local man was the one that got me, where it's like that book had everything I loved about the '90s, and then you'd flip it over. Well, it did all the '90s stuff, but like they also had the modern day story that was going on, and just the way that they balanced that stuff in that book was so impressive. Like he's a name that whenever I see Tony's name on a book, like okay, I'm gonna stop and check it out. Like Uncanny Valley, I was real jealous I didn't get to talk about Uncanny Valley because that book was just so bonkers and so much fun. Like I can't imagine how much fun they had making that thing. But
Well, spoiler alert, when this series is over, like when the trade paperback comes out, I've already talked to Tony and we're gonna do a review with Tony. So if you want to be the guy on the show with me, the invite is out.
oh
So
man,
yeah,
I,
so
I
you'll
I
get
would
your
be honored.
opportunity.
Yeah, awesome, 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 awesome.
So I'm pulling this series, like I'm legitimately pulling this at the LCS regardless. So
Yeah,
it's a no doubter, which I got the Tyler Kirkham variant, which if you haven't seen it, that thing is sick.
I
So, and I'm
just
not a
went.
big variant guy, so it has to be really sick.
I just went with the cover A's. Yeah, for me, I was more on the fence on this one. I'll be honest. Like, do I think what they have is well done? I do. Do I like the Dijamenico? Oh, I'm going to say that name wrong 6 different times. Dejia Domenico. There we go. Anyway, I think the art is good. What got me that kind of made me roll my eyes a little bit whenever I got to issue 2 is there are 2 characters that pop up in the end. Um, and I was like, oh, these guys. And it's like I'm not gonna spoil characters, but they just seem like characters that are copies of a copy of a copy. And it's like, all right, whatever. But in the hands of Tony Fleeks, though, I think he can take that and turn that into something special. So I'm not as in on this as I was on Firestorm, but I do think this was the second best of all the next level books we're going to talk about today. And as long as my the week it comes out for issue 3, I'm not too swamped. I'll be picking it up.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. So far, we're 2 for 2 pulling. Now, here's where we get into the it depends on what you're into, and we'll lead that into we'll go into Lobo, which is by Scotty Young, and
Jorge Corona.
there we go. All right. So, I, Scotty Young is one of the most popular cover artists right now. That's hands down. He has a book, I Hate Fairyland, which is getting ready to reach 50 issues. That's fine and dandy, but I will tell you this right now. If you like Lobo, you might really, 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 really love this book. Yeah, I was not a fan. I didn't care. I didn't care for the story. I don't care for that art style. I don't want to sound like a hater, but I will not be pulling this. We're just going to get that out of the way now. I will not be pulling this. Did I find humor in the story? Yeah, because I mean, every person's going to find, I mean, if you like dumb humor, you're going to love this book. And I mean, he kind of plays into, he sets it up right off the rip that like everything, I really like how he, in the new 52, where you got like sexy Lobo,
Oh
he
yeah,
even like pokes fun at that. And I found that hilarious. Like he had shoot Twilight Lobo.
yeah.
So I got a chuckle out of that. And there was a couple things I thought were funny, but the whole storyline, I read issue 2 for this. So like because I wanted to see where it went and see if it got better, and it didn't. So
Yeah, unfortunately, I hate to be the echo chamber here, but I did enjoy the art. I do like Jorge Corona. He was the guy on Transformers that followed Daniel Warren Johnson, and I love the Daniel Warren Johnson style. I love the action oriented stuff. But when it came to this story where they're getting Lobo to be like a reality star, I just it wasn't doing it for me. And if you like Lobo and like Lobo's your jam, like you get everything you want out of Lobo. You get those meta references. You get breaking the fourth wall a little bit. You get, chains and punching and aliens getting smashed together. Uh, but at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, all right. Like each page was kind of a slog for me, and so I don't know on this one, dude. It wasn't clicking for me, which I'll be honest, I hate Fairyland. I know a lot of people love that book. When we reviewed that on my podcast, I was like, I recognize it's good, and I like Scotty Young's style. I like his covers, but that was another book that wasn't for me either. So I just think that when Scotty Young is doing over the top violence, uh, I don't know. There's something missing for me. It doesn't have the charm of a Daniel Warren Johnson where he's pulling out all the wrestling stuff and like, oh, that's awesome. Like this, it's just I don't know. It's Lobo,
yeah, it's the fragging man, dude.
the
Just
main man.
not. Yeah, it's just not. Again, if you really like Lobo, you're probably gonna love this book. I can't stand the faces. I think that's one of the biggest things that drives me nuts. And like again, I appreciate a really good character design and like the characters that you see like in the bar scene and the slip and slouch or whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Okay.
It is
Yeah.
that those characters. I just don't like those characters. I don't like the way they look.
Yeah. There was
I
a
hate
lot of
the
generic aliens in here.
yeah. Like I didn't like that. I don't like the main antagonist, like the reality guy with all the little TVs. Like his face is creepy. Like his lips are weird. I just don't like it.
Yeah. No, like the TV guys, all that stuff seems like it's been done before. But man, is there a killer double page spread where it looks like Lobo's chain is like a 3D, like popping out of the page? Like
Yeah,
there are awesome parts of this book. It just weren't as awesome for me.
yeah. So again, I'm gonna repeat myself one more time. Definitely not pulling this.
Yeah,
So
yeah. This one's a skip for me as well. But it's not to say that it's bad. I think it. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's Lobo.
yeah, dude. Again, if you love Lobo and crude humor, you're in, baby. But again, it's just not for me. The only thing I do got to point this out. So I was always a firm believer that Lobo, if you read, I forget what issue it is, in like his run, because again, I like Lobo-ish, kind of, sort of like Deadpool. I like it in
Yeah,
moderation.
yeah. Every now and
Um,
again, he's a good sometimes food.
yeah, it's like, man, all right, if I want, if I'm feeling wild, I'll put pineapple on my pizza. That's what they are. Um,
I'm sure you'd get punched in the face by Lobo for comparing him to pineapple on pizza.
all guaranteed. Same with Deadpool. Deadpool would probably shoot me.
That's
That's
it.
fine. I'm cool with it. The oh shit, I forgot where I was going with it. Um,
Sorry.
uh, oh, they
Every now and
changed
again,
his
there's an issue.
origin.
What is
Yeah,
it?
they changed his origin. So in
Okay.
this, he says that he pees in the water and that's what kills him. And in the original series, it's because he did something in the science fair and it blew the whole planet up. So what is it? You need to tell me which one it is. Because I was always firm. I liked it better that he just blew the planet up because he got bored. And that was a science fair project. But then it's also kind of funny that he just like pissed in the water. Like that's kind of funny.
There
So
you go. It's DC. There's so many different universes and restarts. It could be both at the same time.
you ain't kidding. This could be like Earth 72 at this point. All right, so now our last one we're gonna get into is Batwoman, which before we talk about it, I had read a lot of reviews on this book that people absolutely did not like the art that didn't go with it. I liked the art, but the story is kind of like it leaves more for me to be desired because I'm not we're kind of like jumping into something at this point and like you don't really know what's going on. It's like I
Right?
see what's going on, like I'm aware as to what's going on, but why are we here? How did we get here? And what you do see in it doesn't really answer me.
Yeah, it's no, so many people like you. I saw reviews that were bagging on Danny's art. I think, which by the way, the book by Greg Rucka, art by Danny. I think that the art is the strong suit here. I think whenever Danny gets a chance to draw Batwoman, it looks badass. But the story, the character Batwoman starts off and she's in recovery and she's in therapy, and she's talking about the loss of her sister, and you know, uh, the art I think is suited to those dark moments whenever Batwoman's on the screen. But then sometimes like the therapy stuff didn't land for me as well, and like they start getting. And I checked out issue 2 on this one as well. Um,
Same as I did.
there you go. I picked up, and I had been knocking DC for their practice of taking the cardboard covers and just putting them over top of the cover A's. But like I got the Jenny Frison one, and I
That's a
really like the
beautiful
cover
cover.
A's inside. Yeah, like I was like, all right, I'll shell out the extra buck for that one.
Yeah,
But
now hold on. Now you saying that now, I do gotta point out a pet peeve of mine with that. So the
okay,
only problem I have with that is you have people, all right. Now I'm not one of them. I bought one because I pulled the series. Absolute Batman.
right?
Okay. We have talked about it multiple times on the show. Beefcake Batman.
Oh yeah,
People are taking their cover Bs, cover Cs, cover Ds, and taking that cover off and submitting the underneath cover of cover A as the first, like as an actual cover A, and getting 9/8 on them.
Okay, so here's my response, and it's two fingers straight to the sky, and that's fine, man. F it. Like for all
Like
these
that
people that want to get
sucks.
their 9/8, they paid their extra dollar for their fancy protective cover, right?
That sucks, man. Like for me, that sucks because I'm like, damn, I'm like, I was the guy who was lucky enough to get the actual one, and here you
Right.
are coming in, you sliding in.
Well, it's still the same comic on the inside. And if you're going to slab it and play that game, like all this is, they're paying it the extra dollar for that extra protection. And I don't know if the staples uh, match up as well. Like I don't know if you would do damage to the staples. I'm not as big into the slabbing game. Um, but my big complaint, and the reason why I've come around on DC doing this, is because there's so many different covers to all these books out there, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
and I like it kind of makes me mad because Superman, Spider-Man came out, and Spider-Man, Superman, and between the two versions of that book, there are 135 different covers, available. And my
God
problem
being a
is,
completionist. Good
yeah,
Lord.
well, yeah, well, I'm not even that bad, but I look at them and I'm like, oh, that one looks real cool. Oh, that one's cool. Oh man, I want that one instead. And I've never been a variant cover guy, but like on some of these books, I'm picking up like two, three different copies because it's like, well, I want the wraparound one with all the villains on it. Oh, I want the cover A because you got to have the cover A, and like at least DC, they're charging an extra buck for the additional cover, but they give you the cover A on the inside, and you at least get two covers, as
That
opposed to
is
whenever you
true.
shell out your hard earned cash for all these different comics and you only get one, and there are all these other options out there. Like you paid full price, you should get all the covers. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and yeah, don't get me started on the incentive ones too, because that one irritates the piss out of me.
Oh
Because
yeah,
so like we'll get back to Batwoman here in a minute. We're going on a tangent.
there we go.
Um you have to order so many of a certain cover to get the incentive, and like that irritates me because you do have so many other options out there. Why can't it just be, oh, I ordered 10 total variants, right? Or like I ordered 25 total variants of all these books, because you're still ordering 25 of the same damn book. and
Yeah,
like and like my LCS, Hobbies Inc., Bridgeport, Ohio. There you go. There's a plug.
stout out.
Um, they order so many of these books, but they don't get the incentives because they don't order certain, like cover B you have to order, or if it's cover A. And like it's really irritating because like they ordered 25, perfect example, Deathstroke, Terminator. Tony Fleece did the incentive
Okay.
for the 1 in 25. I'm a I'm a cheap ass when it comes to, I don't want to pay $10 shipping like off eBay. So like I
Right.
try to find the books in the stores. Shout out to all the LCSs out there. I know you guys love people like that. We do that so we don't have to pay the shipping. Well, my LCS paid. They had like, hell, they probably had like 30 issues of it. I saw it, dude. I watched them do their inventory. They weren't eligible for the 1 in 25 because they didn't get so many of a certain cover. And it's like you do these, you put these awesome books out there, and then you make them so hard for people to get, like in stores, like areas like mine. Like how many people are coming to Bridgeport, Ohio?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's one of those things where you have to talk to your LCS. I know a lot of places will, the comic shops say, well, if you want the 1 in 10, let us know, and they'll charge you an upcharge or whatever. And I've seen places like for some of like the crazy 1 in 200s, they're charging people the cost that it costs them to order the 200 books to get that cover, but then they'll set it aside for you.
That'd
But
be nice.
you got to arrange that stuff, at least a month or two in advance, and all that other, like
Yeah,
it's
you
such
know,
a
and like,
racket, and you're
yeah, and like,
already,
oh,
yeah.
go ahead.
I was like, getting comics isn't easy as it is. You're already going to the specialty shop. You already have to get there. You know, if you don't have things pre-ordered, the chance of getting that hot book, especially these days where like places are pulling them before they even go on sale because everything's blown up the night before on the internet. Like it's really tough to be a comic fan that just likes to go in and read books and be like, oh, I heard this is good. Can I read it? Like maybe when they come out with a second printing, or you know what I mean? Like, oh, there's this cool cover by this artist. Like, oh, turns out that's the 1 in 25 variant. So
Yep.
if we
I've
do
been there
have it,
so many times.
it'll cost you, $50 and like, what? For a comic book? Aye,
Yeah,
aye, aye.
see, and like I wouldn't have a problem like if they were to like tell me like, and now here's like my big issue with this. So I don't have a problem like if Mike from Hobbies Inc. That's the owner, great guy.
Right?
I wouldn't have a problem if he told me, "Hey, I have to charge you the $25 for the book and I'll get the 25 issues." That's fine, but now here's the problem though. Now he ordered the 25 issues of this book, right? How many of those
Mm.
is he actually going to sell? How many of those are he actually going to have to sit on and eat so I could get that book? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
But
I have an
that's
issue with that because I don't want them because you do that and then now they have to eat all this shit where they could have got profit off of other books and then they go out of business.
well, that's why and I don't know how shrewd Mike is as a businessman. You charge people what it costs to get that variant cover. And if
Right.
people want it enough, which that's a scheme unto itself, now everything else you get, like I keep thinking like Todd McFarlane offered an autograph book as like one of the 1 in 200s. And so shops got 200 copies of King Spawn and they charged that one guy that bought the autograph book out the wazoo. But then those 200 copies you have, those are gravy. You can sell those for $1 a piece and,
Yeah.
get some folks excited about the book or, use them for Kin Link or, basically that guy that got that variant cover paid for him. But yeah, it's tough. It's all a scam. You just want
I
people
mean,
to, if it was, as long as it's an honest upfront thing, like it just sucks though that that's part of the game.
right. And like, and how do I put this? I feel like just me is myself. Like I would never want to put somebody in that situation. Like as like, I go in every week and I buy my books and like I
Yeah,
don't want you to buy and like, there's been times where like weeks have sucked like pay wise and it's like, man, like, hey, I can't buy like these two books this week. I'll get them next week. And it's like, man, I feel like a piece of shit for no reason. But like that's just how I feel. It's like, man, like
yeah,
you order these books, like I want you guys to get paid. So
yeah.
you know what
Well,
I
you're a
mean?
decent dude. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
I. It's a real funny story. I am not good at ordering my books ahead of time. I never have been. And so this is, geez, 15, 20 years ago. My new comic shop was like, all right, well, here's how you set up your orders and stuff. And I was going through, I didn't understand all this variant ratio garbage. And so there was a book that came out and they had a variant, it was a ratio variant, but it had all the old school Marvel, like 25th anniversary style, like the border with all the heads on it. And so I'm online and I click boop, like, all right, that's the one I want. I'll get that one. And then it comes in and my comic shop guys, all right, well, that book's going to cost you, that's the 1 in 10 variant. Uh, that's going to cost you $15 or $20 or whatever. I was like, what? And I didn't understand what was going on. And so I explained that to him. He explained the process to me, and like I understand because like it's a business. Just like you, I want my comic store to do well. I want my comic store to stay in business. I want to. But he was like, "Well, I'll charge you cover price on this one. Just make sure next time that you don't screw it up again." That issue that I got the $15 version instead of the $5 version or $4 version
Yeah.
was the J. Scott Campbell Amazing Spider-Man cover with Mary Jane. That's now like $100 comic
Oh
for
shit.
the A cover, and I'm the idiot that was like, no, I want the ratio. I want the one with the border on it with Mary Jane looking like she's drawn by John Romita Jr. or John Romita.
Oh yeah, you done messed up at
Uh,
Avon.
I screwed that up pretty bad. But my comic shop guy was a decent dude, and he knew like, okay, this guy's just getting started. He showed a little bit of grace there and cut me some slack, and I ended up going to that shop for 20 years as a result. But
Hey, I've been going to Hobbies Inc. since they've been open for 27 years, and I have been going there probably 27 years. So
There you go. It's good to have a great shop. But yeah, if you're into the ratio variants, talk to your shop owners. There's probably something they can do that could work and be advantageous for both parties. But yeah, sometimes you're gonna get hosed trying to get those fancy covers.
Yeah, it's all employed by all these major companies,
That's right. It's big
bastards.
syndicates. All right,
Like
so
Disney needs any more money.
honestly, but let's get back to Batwoman because we've tangent or we've gone too far on our tangents. What do you think of it?
Again, I really like the art. The story is so-so. I mean, it builds up a little better in issue two, a little bit. I wouldn't say much, but it's definitely not something that I would pull.
Yeah, I'm in once again the same boat. I think the Batwoman costume
It's
looks
sick.
so badass. I love that costume and the art style. I googled this before we hopped on.
It's
Uh,
true. He really did.
I'm learning a new word, but I was describing it as like a Scott McDaniel Daredevil or Frank Miller his style, but the term is uh, chiaroscuro, which is Italian for light dark. And it's an art technique using extreme contrast between light and shadow to create volume, drama, and three-dimensional depth. But Danny has that art style, and when it works, man, boy, does it work! And when she's drawing the Batwoman costume, like oh, the blacks and the reds and how it all comes together, like it is such a badass look. But then
The
this,
best, yeah, the best way to put it is so all the action with the Batwoman and like all the like actual action in this book takes place in the dark. So like the colors are illuminating really, really well. But the problem is that most of this issue, three-quarters of it, takes place in like a doctor's office,
right,
and it's like it's daytime. So like it doesn't really complement like the artist.
right. No, I totally agree. It's not playing to her strengths, and so and plus the storyline you're getting into like the Church of Dark Side and like you get into all these things, and I it's been a long time since I've read 52, and I can't remember how much Batwoman's story intersected with some of those things. Uh, but like that, I didn't like that as much as I like the art. I didn't like the story.
No,
Um, and then and like you mentioned, there were those times where it was the art was in the doctor's office. Like, well, that doesn't suit it as well. Like, it should all be in these dark shadows and all these big action scenes, and then I think people would appreciate it a lot more.
right. And but now here's the elephant in the room. So she has like a psychotic break, like she like what I think is like she's in a mental hospital. And at the end of issue one, she like breaks out, obviously, but she is literally in the Batwoman costume and she shines this light
All right.
of the Batgirl or the Batwoman symbol at the bad guys. Like she knows exactly where they are before like they can come get her. And it's like, how are they not gonna notice that she's not in there? Like she's in like a pretty like maximum security, like they watching you. And she's just gonna magically appear there, which again, it looks good. Like it looks damn good. But the
Yeah,
story, the story is just kind of like meh. I mean, maybe it'll get better. I don't think it got really that much better in issue two.
yeah, and
But
I think the hospital's in on it, so I think you know what I
oh,
mean.
100%,
So it's
100%. And
it's
I
one
bet
of
you the
those.
guy that's into it is the guy at the beginning of the story that's telling the psychiatrist about everything. It's him. It's that guy,
Oh yeah, but like,
guaranteed.
am I going to stick around to find out about it? I don't think I am.
No.
It wasn't enough to hook me, unfortunately. As much as I like the art scenes and those dark moments.
Now, on the plus side, though, I will say, if I'm not mistaken, all the next level books are 3.99. So, in a price point, these books are in the cheaper realm of new comic books. So, for new readers, that's actually a plus. Now, I'm not going to go out there and I'm not going to tell you that you need to go buy these books right now. Well, Firestorm, yeah, go read that. That's great. If you really like Lobo, go get Lobo. If you are in love with Batwoman, go buy Batwoman. If you're interested or like you're like curiosity about the Terminator, go get it. Go get Deathstroke. But
Yeah,
I
I don't.
feel like all these writers did a really good job with the characters themselves.
I agree. I think if you are a fan of these characters and if you are a fan of these particular types of stories, like you're getting what you pay for, right? If you are into Lobo, the old Keith Giffen, or Alan Grant, and with the Simon Bisley covers,
Yeah, I like the Alan Grant run.
like there's things you're going to be able to enjoy out of this new Lobo. If you're a Batwoman fan, like Greg Rucka is Batwoman. I won't lie, I miss J.H. Williams the third, but he is your Batwoman writer. They're getting competent storytellers to tell these stories. It's just at the end of the day, for this next level, like uh, Firestorm, I'm definitely in. Deathstroke, I'm kind of, more in than not. But some of these other characters just didn't land with me. And we'll see, like, because what else is left? They've got Demon, get some
Barbara
story.
Gordon, where
Barbara
she breaks
Gordon.
out of prison, and Zatanna, I believe.
Okay.
And there was supposed to be Shadow of the Bat, but I haven't seen anything else about it. So
Oh, well, DC can't keep from making Batman books, so
uh, I'm still waiting on Hush 2 to finish. Just saying.
dude, it's coming out next month.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
They just got the solicit out. I just ordered my giant copy because that's my favorite part. They make the giant versions where they're like 11 by 17.
Those are badass.
Yeah, they are.
All right. Well, thank you, Chad, for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me,
And
dude. Always have a great time.
before I forget, I got to mention out my friends at Hailstorm. They are great people. They have a beautiful antique store. I wouldn't even call it antique. They have great comic books, and I mean great comic books. They got all the 12 center Batmans, your early ASM books. You would be surprised that this store has comic books like they do. They got great buck bins. They probably got like 20 buck bins. If you're in the greater Dayton area, tell them that we sent you. You get 10% off your first purchase at the store when you tell them. So don't forget that. Great people.
That's
Three
awesome. Those are the best
Rivers.
shops, man.
Oh,
You can find
they
the
are
treasures.
great. You got Three Rivers Comic Con coming up June 6th and 7th. Can't forget to give the plug for those people. Great people
Oh,
again.
that's another great show. Are you going to be out there, Zach?
Oh, I'm definitely going. I will be there Saturday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's
And
we
go
make
ahead.
the trek every year with my last comic shop pals, and they the folks behind that show, John Engel and company, they put on a great show. It's a really good comic book show.
Yeah, dude, it's badass. I love it. There's so many good people that are there. Like it's just such a great community, like a great little it's a great group of nerds. I love it. It's so
Yeah, and like there's so many guests where like you get some big time artists and like you can form relationships with those folks, and then you meet like up and comers, and get sketches and stuff while they're affordable.
that's my
Like
plan this year.
it's awesome.
And then always I gotta, show my love to Hobbies Inc. Great place. Mike, Trevor, good people. And then we are on Outworld Reach Radio, which, great radio station. It's based out of like the Dayton, Ohio area, and then they have like some sponsors and stuff from like Virginia and everything. So like their outreach is, like the Midwest. And they're great people too. And it's a great little app that you can download on your phone. So if you're hearing us on there, thank you. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
every Friday I upload new episodes on YouTube and Spotify. And that's really it. So, you keep showing the love with the likes, comments, and subscribing, and we'll catch you, the next time. So as always, hope you guys have a good day and peace out, Cub Scouts.